Hello everybody, the Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 2v2 on Buckland, a clan war match. Alright, let's see who we got here today. I don't know the clans per se, but I do know the players, of course. We have Excelsior as Men of the West in the top right. And his ally for this match is Swegrim as Elves. The opposing team, we have another elf player, Daryl. And his ally for this match is Turin. Alright, Turin is Isengard. So we have Eisen Elf versus Men Elf. Interesting. So we have Elfmere on the left side, which is easily the worst matchup of all time. I hate Elfmeres with a passion. But we'll see who wins out on that side. And then we have, of course, Eisen versus Elf, which can go pretty well for either side, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see what is employed. Looks like Turin is going for himself in Uruk Pits. We have a barracks. Yes, barracks being thrown out by Excelsior. An Elven barracks being thrown down by Swegrim, and an Elven barracks being thrown down by, I forgot who this was, Daryl. Excuse me. How can I forget? So we'll have barracks units being thrown out across the board, no stables anywhere, no one's doing anything cheeky. Pretty standard stuff. You want to play your game safe in a clan war match, I'd imagine, so you win. So they play for fun. They play for keeps. I don't know. Clan wars, of course, is a more competitive side of things, if you're into that kind of stuff, which I'm personally not, but I do enjoy watching it, at the very least. Not participating in it myself. And we have Lorien archers here, coming out for Swegrim, and Gondor soldiers coming out for Excelsior, who's going to be going up against Uruk-hai warriors, or just Uruk-hai, I guess they're just called, but Uruk-hai, of course, are much better than Gondor soldiers, so they should be alright on that front. And we have Elves being brought out, or Lorien archers rather, being brought up here for Daryl. So they're going to have an archer off. How exciting. They're both also green, which is kind of shit. An Elven mirror where both are green. It's two different shades of green, but when they get all mixed up, it can be a little confusing sometimes. Alright, the Uruk-hai are pushing in to Excelsior's base. They've already hit a war chant, it looks like. He's looking for farms, undoubtedly. He will, of course, run into this farm of Excelsior's. Excelsior's got some Gondor soldiers on chase, and more queued up. And we have more Uruk-hai being brought out from Turin there. I was going to say, these disappeared. They went cloaked in the trees, of course, as elves tend to do. Looks like Swegrim is bursting the white there. Possibly going to creep the white layer for a little bit of money and stuff. Indeed he is. He's using barrage as well to do it, which I guess works. Pretty cool. So I'll net him a little bit of gold from that. Meanwhile, it looks like Daryl's actually captured the outpost, which will net him much more gold in the long run. But I think, yeah, it's giving Swegrim a bit of power points over the other guys. As you see, hitting the this thing with barrage is actually giving him a full power point. So there you go. There's one full power point for destroying this layer. He needs to get in there and get that gold. He's going to use the builder though to do it. And he's also built a farm there as well, which is a nice use of the spot. And we have Eowyn start for Excelsior. Eowyn is actually a pretty good hero against Eisen because of her disguise ability. This does make her immune to Cripple Strike and Corrode Allegiance, both of which, of course, are specifically Isengard powers. So that's actually very useful, as you might expect. She cannot be crippled by lurts or taken over by Wormtongue. So that should be useful indeed. Daryl is creep this troll layer over here on the left and also capture the signifier, so he's got the vision bonus. And you can see up there, which is a pretty good chunk into Swegrim's base, but not too far to see, far enough to see anything though. Now it looks like Excelsior is going aggressively down into Turin's base with soldiers and Eowyn. Eowyn, of course, gets her smite at level, is it 1? Does she come with smite? I think she does. But at level 4, she gets Shield Maiden, which gives her 100% armor, which is pretty big. And that's the last time she gets an ability. So really, once you're at level 4, you've hit all your abilities with Eowyn. It's the downside about Eowyn. But she is a starter hero, so she's not really tailored for the late game, as you would expect. And there you go. Immediately being used as Shield Maiden, so she will take a lot less damage there and able to tank these Uruk-hai. While his archers and Haldir from his ally burst down the Uruk-hai. Swegrim has potentially just defended or something. He's got a Haldir as well. They have a pretty sizable force of elves. So that'll be something to contend with for sure. And meanwhile, in Excelsior's base, Excelsior is going to lose his farm, no doubt. Are these Swegrims? Nope, these are Daryl's. Of course they are. Daryl's only aggressive. And he's attacking the guy across the map from himself. But now that Swegrim is pushing out, Daryl's going to have to focus a little bit more on his opponent, I think. Unless he's going to be overwhelmed at his base, because currently his base does not have a whole lot in it, if you look at that. Daryl, of course, is helping defend against Excelsior here in Turin's base. Urkai, of course, are faster than Gondor soldiers there as well. You can chase them down, which is good. Very useful. A lot of times, having a faster unit is just very useful. Look at these elves, just firing squad. What is this? It just sat there and took it. Not the best. Not the best. And these Urkai from Turin are going to get shot to death. There's a lot of archers here. And with the Haldir leading them, and their buff, they should do very nicely defending anything here. And is continuing to level. Rebuild has gone down on the barracks of Excelsior. Doesn't want to lose his barracks, because of course that will cut his production. That's never a good sign. He's also thrown down his stables to get his cavalry up and running, which will be good against elves and Urkai alike. Ooh, Cav has been brought out from Daryl though, and he gets a nice run through on some of the archers of Swegrim. Unfortunately, it didn't kill them all in one pass. The second pass will, of course, do so. Oh, one got away though. Potentially he could go heal that up if he gets a well or something, but we'll see, I guess. But this battalion of Cav is doing work. There's a Haldir right here. Enemy Haldir. Which Haldir's which? This is Daryl's Haldir, right? Yeah. Daryl's Haldir's a bit outnumbered here. I think he may die. Ooh, it's gonna be close. I think if Swegrim's Haldir was shooting him, he probably would have died. Unfortunately, Haldir was trying to target down the Cav, which is still a good target to shoot at. And there goes a heal, Daryl. And he pushes back in. Very nice indeed. These are from Daryl as well. They're behind enemy lines. Being shot in the back as well. Eowyn's over here helping out as well. So she'll do very nicely. And the Urkai are surrounding here. Gondor soldiers not in shield wall. Urkai are in shield wall formation. Shield wall formation just makes Urkai very good. I'd say they tank that Cav charge fairly reasonably, but of course they're still never going to win that fight because of the potential charge knockdown of the Cav. Can just keep knocking them down and charging through until they're all dead. It may take 100 charges, but by God, they'll get it. They'll get it done. Eowyn's also a nice hero to have for countering cavalry a little bit, because he doesn't want to stop and fight a tree because Eowyn will just start breaking them down. So that's something he's undoubtedly trying to avoid. We don't have any lurts or anything, Sharku or anything from Turin here. And he also hasn't gone for any pikes, which is interesting. I think a battalion of pikes is probably about due. There you go. He's getting one on the field. And then he can start protecting against Eowyn and the Gondor Knights a little bit. Looks like the Cav, the Elves here from Daryl has run to the fortress protection. Hopefully he doesn't lose too many more troops. So that builder needs to get out of here, and he will indeed. Alright, Swegrim and Daryl are going to go out of here in the center here. Swegrim's pulling back a little bit, trying to reposition, but the Cav from Daryl is really doing work. I really think Swegrim potentially either needs more pikes, or he needs Cav himself potentially. Because he doesn't seem to be having a fun time against the Cav. Although, Daryl did just run his Cav through the pikes. Not the best. There we go. Haldir. Nope, that's a statue. Never mind. Haldir is about to hit level 6 though, which will give him leadership. Both of them are about to hit level 6. One of them is, the other one will soon, and then both will have leadership for their armies. It looks like Daryl will have to regroup here. At least get Haldir out of there. Looks like he's going to pull back a bit. And Excelsior is on the attack. But it looks like Turin has more than enough to defend. That being said, though, there is a good chunk of stuff next to his fortress. They do manage to knock down Uruk Pit there. They are buffed, and they do have Eowyn as well. And since she's not taking damage, she's not using the Shield Maiden, which is good. Oh, it's a wall hub. I was like, what was that? Yeah, things are not looking good for actual Turin, I'd say. He's opting not to defend and just go straight for the attack. I think this is potentially a mistake. Also, he walked way too close to the troll. Fortunately, didn't do too much damage, but I think he should have defended a bit. Haldir from Daryl has been sent over to aid, but I don't know if it'll be enough. He's going to try and push through with his Uruk-hai. He does have superior arms. Thunder Soldiers in Shield Wall are not going to surpass the Uruk-hai buffed. Although hobbits have been brought in from Excelsior to help out. You could also use the Galadriel, which he has put on autocast to cause fear into Uruk-hai. Well, his Rohirrim run them down, which is a good call. And that should defend Excelsior's base well enough. Swegrim has also come over to help. And now Turin is in a lot of trouble, I think. Glorfindel's on the field for Daryl, though. Glorfindel is stronger than Eowyn, as you would expect. Although, that being said, she's still holding 1-for-1 with Glorfindel. She is level 7, of course. Glorfindel is level 1. If Glorfindel was level 3, it would be a completely different story. And that was with the arrow tower, of course, shooting Eowyn as well. Which shows Eowyn's pretty tough. But I think Turin's in a vast amount of trouble. And Excelsior is bringing his Eowyn to keep attacking the fortress as much as he can. If he can get this fort down, that would be great for him. Of course, Eowyn is not going to do it herself, I don't think. Glorfindel is level 3, does have Blade of Purity, but... Oof, this Spear Throw could have been deadly. Managed to get away, though. But now there is a lot of troops here from Excelsior, and I think this might be GG for Turin. Daryl's not in a position to help because Swegrim is pushing very aggressively on his base. Very aggressively indeed, actually. This is Daryl's Mirror of Galadriel, but there's just a lot of archers dying to each other. There's some level 5 archers. And they got buffs as well from Haldir and such. And there you go, Turin is pretty much dead. He's got his barracks, both his builders are here. He's going to fall here shortly. And it looks like Excelsior will be victorious in this side. Swegrim, in turn, will be victorious on the other side. Looks like he's doing quite well. If Haldir was, or Haldir and the other heroes were over here, they might have done better. But of course, you got to help your ally when they're in need. Looks like Daryl has left the game, leaving Turin his buildings. And Turin is out as well. And there you go. Nice match. And there you have it. Excelsior and Swegrim are the victors. But we'll play all the players, of course, in the match. And yeah, it's always nice to see a good little clan war game. It was pretty solid start, but the top team started to steamroll a bit. And yeah, went in their favor. So yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast, and I'll see you guys next time.